Okay, we saw some pretty close to domination by the Green Bay Packers. Really a great bounce back game for them. I know it was just against Houston, but still, they had a rough one last week. So good to see them really come back and prove they are still a powerhouse. They are still legit. And last week was, I don't want to say it's a complete fluke, but that's not going to happen if the next time they play a good team. I thought Rodgers was great. Rodgers sort of did just the small things. He didn't try to do too much, which is really great. This play is an example of that. It's going to be man coverage, and he's going to be looking at, actually, it's going to be a halfback who's running over to the middle of the field, Williams. That's who he's going to look for. And it makes sense. This route works against this type of coverage. It's a quick crossing route over the middle. You have a linebacker who's covering him. He's also playing further deep to make sure he doesn't get burned deep. So this is a good route for Rodgers. And once this ball is snapped, look at what happens. So now, as you see, Williams is open, largely just because of all the things crossing over the middle of the field. That makes it a lot easier for Williams to get open. Zach Cunningham, the Texans linebacker, he has to run around a tight end, so just difficult for him to get through. And so Rodgers notices this. He's not going to miss this type of thing. He throws it. They get the Williams, and they get the first down just like that. So that was a good play early on just to start moving down the field. They get the ball to the 25-yard line, and then this play would happen. They're going up against zone coverage right here. And for Green Bay, the way it's kind of going to work is they have a couple of players who are running deep. And so, those could be routes to look for, but they also just have a receiver running a quick curl route, sort of just short of the first down marker. And Rodgers is also going to look in that direction because, look at what happens right when this ball is snapped. Rodgers has time, but no one to throw to down the field, so he just takes the check down. But the check down really works in this situation because of the zone coverage and because he had players running deep that kind of pushed Houston players further deep as well. So this way, it just kind of works out. And Green Bay is able to just gain some yards. It's nothing crazy, but again, that's a lot of what Rodgers was doing. He had some impressive throws, but it was also just that's kind of what Rodgers does as a whole, is he just makes the smart decisions. And 89 here is able to make a good play, get to the first down marker, which so that's definitely a good play as well. But that largely was just the good, not necessarily a safe decision, just a smart decision. There was no risk there, and it still got you a first down. So you'll take that pretty much every time. And then to cap off this drive, here's how it would happen. This is a third down and goal at the 3-yard line right here. It's man coverage, but Houston is only going to rush 3 right here. They want the extra player in coverage because it's a goal line situation. And as you see, pretty much everyone's covering the middle of the field. That's where all 3 of your extra guys are, basically meaning that the sidelines could be open. And so on the top of the screen, you have a receiver running deep, and then you have Adams, who's actually just going to run a quick route before he even gets into the end zone. But this is the route that Rodgers wants to hit, and you'll see why. Look at what happens once this ball is snapped, and you notice that Adams, really, the defensive player who was covering Adams just fell down, so that made things even more easy. But Adams was open anyways, and Rodgers notices this again right away. He's able to hit Adams. Adams gets the easy touchdown. And they, are able to go up early. And I think that's kind of a big play. I have to imagine getting blown out by Tampa Bay last week was pretty discouraging, at least somewhat disappointing. And so to be able to sort of really put together a nice drive where even when they scored in the first couple drives against Tampa Bay, it didn't really look that promising. It was kind of more of they were just finding ways to make plays work, which is still nice. But, this time they were able to really just design plays, draw them up, and have them work to completion. And it kind of just shows, okay, this team still has it. And if you want to say, well, Houston's defense is just bad, well, kind of, yeah. I mean, that was a part of it. We'll get into that on my next play. But there was also some good defense and better offense on certain plays. Take a look at this one. So it's going to be a cover 1 blitz. And what's interesting here is that typically, the typical thing you do against Green Bay is you run cover 1 and it's cover 1 double, which is usually the safety. He's keeping an eye on Davante Adams, right? That's just how teams like to do this because Davante Adams is clearly their best receiver, and he's kind of a level or maybe 2 levels above everyone else in the Green Bay receiving room. So, make sure you take him out of the play. And Adams is running a deep route here. But again, what's really notable here, what's really important to mention is that just because it's a quote-unquote double doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be 2 guys on him at all times. It just means that the safety is keeping an extra eye on him. So if Rodgers gets rid of this ball quickly, it's still going to be a one-on-one matchup. So Rodgers takes a snap. He does get rid of the ball quickly and just makes a perfect throw. That was not bad defense. Adams got a little open, but not that open. It was a great catch by Adams. But really, that was the throw that really made that play work. Just an incredible throw from Rodgers, perfectly accurate. And that's what I meant when I said there were some incredible throws by him as well. Yes, there was him just sort of running the offense, but every now and then he reminds you he's Aaron Rodgers and he can make these insane throws as well. One more play I liked. It's hard to really talk about how is this good defense is this good offense or bad defense? Probably both, but it's going to be a cover one. It's a cover one hole play, so there's a linebacker covering the middle of the field, safety covers deep, and then it's man coverage across the board. With this angle, you can't see too much, but I like this angle. I wanted to show this one because watch Davante Adams. He's the one on the right. He's running a deep route, and watch the route watch how he's going to really just get off. His first step has always been incredible. I made a whole video on it probably 2 years ago at this point about Davante Adams' first step. It's so good. And what he's going to do here is he's going to quickly fake as though he's going to his left and then go to his right. Seems pretty simple. But watch how well he's able to pull it off. I mean, the second this play starts, he fakes outside, fakes inside, gets to the outside. And at this point, I'm not really sure exactly what the Houston player is trying to do. And that's kind of why I said I'm a little bit confused. I'm not sure if he just believes this is zone coverage and there's a cross up. Maybe he's trying to do a switch here. I'm not really sure. But either way, part of why he's, doing something weird is because of how good Adams was able to, do that first step and get open. But also, part of being an offense is taking advantage of when you see a defense's mistakes. Rodgers notices this defense's mistake, and he's going to be able to hit a now wide open Davante Adams, who's able to take it the rest of the way for a touchdown. So, of course, clearly there was some defensive breakdowns by Houston, but you know what? Green Bay was still able to take advantage and do a really good job. So I think this is a big bounce back, win. This was, it felt like it was a get-right game. And, they were able to pull it off. It was a very good win for them, I think. Green Bay has kind of an easy part of the schedule as they continue. They had Tampa Bay, obviously, which was tough. But now they beat Houston. They're going to play Minnesota. They have the 49ers, who will be tough. But then Jacksonville. And then they get to a bit of a more difficult part with Indianapolis and the Chicago Bears, who I think are underrated. So, yeah, this should be an interesting stretch here to sort of, get it right a little bit more. Definitely a good start. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.